Welcome to the Deep Dive. You send us the material, we dig in and give you the key takeaways fast.
That's right. And today we're looking at the Sex God Method second edition PDF. It's excerpts from a book focused on improving your sex life.
So our mission today is basically to cut through to the core ideas in this book.
Exactly. We want to pull out the actionable stuff, advice on performance, attraction, how to keep that spark alive long term. Think of it as a shortcut to understanding what the author's getting at.
Okay, let's start with the intro. The author kicks off by saying the book aims to give readers a secret edge in the bedroom.
Yeah, for a more fulfilling sex life than maybe they have now. He frames it interestingly, too, talking about the downsides of, well, not being great in bed.
Right, like it can lead to partners losing desire, having sex less often, even hitting a guy's confidence.
But then the flip side, that the rewards for becoming, as he puts it, a great lover.
Which sound pretty compelling, according to the text. Having sex whenever you want, more power in the relationship.
And even getting this enhanced attractiveness just because, word gets around. Positive word of mouth.
Okay, so then the book lays out its structure. 4 acts, he calls them.
Act I dives into common bedroom mistakes. Things guys apparently do that turn women off, but nobody really talks about them openly.
Huh. Secret turnoffs. Okay, then Act 2.
That introduces this 4-step method for female orgasms. The idea is, supposedly, everything that turns women on boils down to 4 basic desires.
4 desires. And if you satisfy those, orgasms become easy. That sounds simple.
Oh, that's the premise presented. We'll see.
Wow.
Then Act 3 gets into physical and psychological techniques.
An arsenal, the book says, to blow any woman's mind.
Yeah, and there's this pretty bold line about women potentially becoming sexually addicted.
Wow, okay, that's a statement. And Act 4.
Secret sexual fantasies. It apparently shares 9 common ones and gives advice on, using them to boost arousal or even act them out.
Got it. Now, something the author really stresses right at the start.
Oh, yeah, the importance of actually doing this stuff.
Yeah.
He makes it clear that just reading isn't enough.
The people who get the best results are the ones who actively apply the techniques consistently. It's about action.
Exactly. Not just knowing, but doing.
So it's positioned as a very practical, hands-on guide. Okay, let's dig into Act I then. Common bedroom mistakes. The idea is these are unknown errors.
Pretty much. Because they're not discussed, men just don't realize they're doing things that might be killing the mood. The author's sort of revealing these hidden tripwires.
Giving guys an inside track, basically. Okay, then Act 2, the 4-step method for female orgasms. You mentioned boiling everything down to 4 core desires.
Satisfy those 4, and orgasms become more straightforward. That's the claim.
It makes you wonder, though, can something as complex as sexual pleasure really be reduced to a 4-step formula? I mean, everyone's different, right?
That's a really good point. A structured approach might feel helpful, give a sense of control maybe, but yeah, real life is usually more nuanced. How flexible is this method? That's the question.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, then Act 3, the physical and psychological techniques. This arsenal to blow her mind and that warning about sexual addiction. What's your take on language like that? Hyperbole.
It certainly grabs your attention, doesn't it? It makes you curious about what techniques he thinks are that powerful.
Right. It also raises questions about, what satisfaction really means. Is it just about the big O or the connection, the whole experience?
Exactly. A very outcome-focused perspective, perhaps.
In Act 4, the secret sexual fantasies. Sharing 9 common ones, guiding readers on using them, exploring fantasies. That seems like it could be really powerful for intimacy.
Oh, absolutely. If there's trust and communication, it can open up huge avenues for connection and excitement. It's about understanding those deeper desires.
Okay, now let's shift to the bonus chapter. 10 ways to keep her sexually interested in a relationship. This feels significant, especially with the author noting his shift towards focusing more on monogamy.
It really is a crucial addition, because while some basics of attraction might be the same, a long-term relationship, well, it's a different ballgame. Different challenges, different advantages too.
Yeah, the dynamic changes. The book points out advantages first, like more comfort, feeling relaxed, being more open to experimenting.
And knowing each other's bodies really well so you can, provide pleasure more precisely. Plus, maybe less pressure to perform because the relationship is established.
That all sounds good. But does that comfort ever become a problem? Like, does it lead to taking things for granted? Complacency?
That's a sharp question. Comfort is great. It's the foundation. But yeah, it can slide into predictability, which the book flags as a major issue. The goal is using that comfort as a launch pad for new things, not getting stuck in a rut.
Which leads perfectly into the major challenges. First one, sex becoming routine, predictable, boring,
Yeah.
especially with living together, kids maybe.
Yep. The book doesn't pull punches there. It calls predictability the root of all boredom.
Ouch. But it rings true for many, I imagine. Daily life just takes over the spontaneity sometimes.
It does, and the author nails it. Novelty, the unexpected, that's often what fuels desire.
Okay, challenge number 2. The implicit pressure to have sex. This is interesting. The idea that just expecting sex because you're in a relationship can actually kill the attraction.
Right, because it becomes rational, expected. But the book argues humans are often turned on by the forbidden, the irrational, when it feels less like an obligation.
That's fascinating psychology.
Mm.
Okay, so how does the book suggest eliminating that pressure? 4 ways, apparently.
First one is a bit counterintuitive. Put less focus on routine sex before bed.
Right, even though it seems convenient. But the argument is it gets too predictable, maybe even monotonous. Let it happen naturally at other times instead of forcing it.
Exactly. Break the pattern. It's like even your favorite meal loses some magic if you have it every single night. Spontaneity brings back that spark.
Okay, second way. Have sex in high-risk situations when you're not supposed to. And let's be clear, he means situations that feel risky or taboo, not actually dangerous.
Yes. Crucial distinction. Within safe boundaries, like maybe being quiet at a friend's house or that trick about making yourselves late for work. It's about breaking norms, adding that thrill of the forbidden.
Injecting the unexpected, but obviously requires total comfort and consent from everyone.
Absolutely paramount. Okay, third way to reduce pressure.
Don't force sex if she's not in the mood. This just seems like fundamental relationship advice.
It really is. Pushing it is called a major mistake. Kills attraction long term. The book says avoid getting angry, having serious talks to convince her, trying again and again, or making threats. Basic respect.
Absolutely. Essential. Okay, the fourth one sounds a bit more strategic. Occasionally tease her, then don't have sex with her.
Yeah, this one's about creating a feeling of deprivation, a little uncertainty. The idea is that when you do initiate sex, it's more exciting because it wasn't guaranteed. Plays on anticipation.
Seems like that would require knowing your partner really well to avoid frustration. A delicate balance.
Very delicate, yes. Good communication needed there.
Okay, so after tackling pressure, the chapter moves to adding variety, the antidote to boredom. First idea, cycle between animal attraction and recovery.
Right. The book suggests relationships naturally have these ebbs and flows. Intense periods, more relaxed periods. Instead of fighting for constant high intensity, embrace the cycle.
So animal attraction might be more dominant, intense sex, while recovery is more emotional, immersive lovemaking.
That's the kind of distinction it makes. It's a framework, really, for understanding different kinds of intimacy and not expecting the same thing all the time. Helps manage expectations.
Makes sense. Next, for variety, have sex in physical locations other than your bed as much as possible. Simple, but probably effective.
Yeah, change of scenery. Shower, couch, car, hotel room. Just breaking that bedroom monotony can heighten the senses, create new excitement.
Easy enough to try. Okay, number 7 for variety. Use sex toys and porn.
But with the strong caveat of doing it within a trusting relationship, focusing on what genuinely turns your partner on, open communication is key.
Right. He suggests surprising her with purchases sometimes, or for porn, maybe watching feature-type stuff with a plot together, making it more relaxed and shared.
Exactly. It's about exploration together, based on trust and knowing each other's desires.
Number 8. Celebrate special occasions. Planning something new and exciting sexually for anniversaries, birthdays, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, making a conscious effort. The book suggests maybe starting with something non-sexual, like a nice dinner, then surprising her with a hotel room, or fulfilling a specific fantasy she has for her birthday. It's about intention.
Making intimacy feel special and valued. Okay, number 9 circles back to fantasies. Use sex fantasies.
Just reinforcing that idea, discover her fantasies, talk about them, maybe even act them out or incorporate the language of the fantasy during sex. Again, all about trust.
Deepens intimacy. Okay, and the last one, number 10, explore taboo activities such as threesomes and anal sex.
Whoa. Yeah, this one obviously requires a very high level of trust and communication. The advice is to introduce things gradually, expect some initial hesitation maybe, but gentle persistence might lead to enjoyment.
Gently is the key word there, I imagine, and constant communication. The book gives an example of introducing anal sex slowly.
Right. It needs extreme sensitivity, constant check-ins, absolute respect for boundaries. It acknowledges that overcoming inhibitions takes time and patience if it's something both partners genuinely want to explore.
Okay, so the bonus chapter wraps up by saying consistent effort and variety are really the keys to keeping things sexually interesting long term.
Pretty much. It's not passive. It takes ongoing attention, creativity, willingness to explore together.
So pulling it all together from this deep dive, the sex god method seems to really emphasize understanding female desire, dodging those common mistakes, and actively working on variety and managing pressure, especially over the long haul.
That sums it up well. It's a blend of psychological insight and practical techniques.
What stands out to you as a key aha moment or particularly interesting takeaway from the material?
For me, I think it's the framing of attraction cycling in long-term relationships. That idea of embracing the animal attraction and recovery phases, it feels like a more realistic and potentially less pressure-filled way to view long-term intimacy, instead of striving for constant fireworks.
Yeah, that's a good one. It acknowledges the natural rhythm. For me, I think it was the counterintuitive advice about not focusing on routine bedtime sex. It challenges a common assumption. And the reasoning about predictability killing desire makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
And also that high-risk scenario idea, creating excitement by breaking mundane norms.
Interesting how different aspects resonate.
Definitely. So for everyone listening, maybe think about which of these principles struck a chord with you. Is there even one small idea here you could maybe apply or just think about differently in your own relationships, current or future, to maybe spark a little more excitement or fulfillment?
Yeah. Some definite food for thought there, reflecting on your own experiences in light of these concepts.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us into the sex god method.
Until next time.